You are watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin. I'm so excited that our next guest is here. You know, we all work busy lives. We meet a lot of people in those working busy lives. And sometimes you just meet a human and you think, I really like this person. And work people become friends. And this woman was a former client of mine. And we worked very closely together for many, many years. I would say probably for 4 or 5 years. And it was just, she made me love what I was doing. And it was like sometimes a lot of hard work, but I really enjoyed doing it because she was lovely and she always gave me kudos when they were deserved, sometimes not always. But I'm so excited to introduce you to her because she was a marketing director. Now she is a children's author and illustrator of a new book series coming out next month. So help me welcome Annie Alwin to America Trends. Welcome, Annie.
So good to see you.
So good to see you too. I know we've been talking about you coming on the show for a while, so I'm glad that you are here. And you know, I know you're home with 2 little ones, so we may have a kid pop over your shoulder, right?
Yes, there's lots of bribing going on to make sure they're settled and everything. But
well, what I love too, I mean, I'm sure you heard my intro of you. I've just loved working with you. But when I met you, you did not have kids, right? So, what I think is so cool is that you now have 2 children. You have a completely different job. And I just wanted you to come on the show and talk to people at home because I think that a lot of people have dreams and aspirations of doing creative things. And I know I always talk about the book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, which gets people to kind of tap into the creative side that sometimes adults let go of that side when they get busy in the working world. And you, I know, had the thought process about writing books a long time ago, and now it's come to fruition. So can you talk a little bit about that transition from corporate America to being a stay-at-home mom for a while, right? And then a children's author?
Yeah, I was in marketing and public relations for probably about 15 years. Agency side, having corporate clients, also the nonprofit world. I loved working with you. I loved always speaking with you and brainstorming and all of that. You know, I've always thought I appreciated your pushback on ideas because I think that makes I want that because you know, I don't want to just be stuck in my own mind about it.
Sometimes we had to say, okay, Annie, let's think, do we really have the time or the money or the resources? But you were like me where you threw creative ideas out there. So we had to rein each other in sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. But I love that, you know, that's what I want. And so when it was probably January of February of 2020, I found out I was pregnant with my second child. And then the next month we closed, the world closed down and COVID started. And if it's so weird to think back to the beginning of COVID and remember what it was like. You know, we're all like washing our potato chips when they come in the house. And
right.
It was back when it started, it was pretty scary to be pregnant during that time, just because we didn't know as much.
Right.
And there were vaccines out. And so I was working, and within probably about 6 months, the organization had started to decide that due to COVID, they were really going to have to downsize. So they consolidated all of their affiliates across the country and absorbed them up into their headquarters. And along with that, laid off, more than half of the team. So I was laid off about 1 month before my second child was born.
Wow.
And it's crazy when I say it out loud, to people. But, you just buckle down and you just one day at a time and figure everything out as it goes, or plan. And, I had a complicated pregnancy. I had a complicated birth. I was in the hospital. I had PPA for a year. It's postpartum anxiety. And I would not, it was a wild time. But like you said, in 2018, I think you and I went for lunch, and you were the first person I told. I was like, I have this children's book idea. I want to do it. And, it's been a long time since then, and a lot has happened, but I used this time and I finally decided, now or never. So I wrote and illustrated 3 books.
Yes.
And
so it's the Peaceful Outing children's series, right? Peaceful Outing. And then one of them's Peaceful Outing, Peaceful Plane, which I think is genius. And you illustrated all this yourself too, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm not the best illustrator, but a few things. One, I wasn't working. So I was like, I don't know if I have much of a budget. And the other thing is that I was really passionate about what I wanted to see in the characters. I really wanted to see diversity, but not just diversity in, maybe what you would think in the typical sense, but I wanted to see many people with many abilities, disabilities. I wanted to see people, with hearing aids, and maybe, in a motorized wheelchair, not just, maybe a mechanical wheelchair, which is what I see a lot in children's books. I also really wanted to see moms who are overweight. You
don't see that very often out there, so it's good representation, right? I mean,
yes. Every children's book I'm reading, the moms are always so skinny, so I had to represent.
Let's have some realism, okay?
Yeah. So I wanted to put a mini me in there, or not a mini me, and so that's so that is why I illustrated them. But so the Peaceful Plane, and the Peaceful Library, and the Peaceful Restaurant. So I don't know if you're seeing a theme here, but these are probably the most stressful situations for parents to take their kids out in public. And I think before COVID, it was stressful. And now that a lot of the kids haven't been, out and about too much over the past couple of years, I think as we're going to start seeing American, did I say that right? Die down, and as more younger kids get vaccinated, everyone's going to be going out and traveling more.
And they're not used to it. More. Some of these, there's a window of ages where they haven't been out at restaurants, and it is a very stressful thing for parents. And I have a very set way of how I handled my children in public, and I want everyone to handle their children that way, which is either take them out or don't let them run around. But I can't wait to read your books to see, what these say. But I wanted to ask you too about some of the challenges with getting them published. They're out for sale on the 2nd of February, right?
The 1st.
I'm sorry, the 1st. Right, 1st.
Sale, yeah. Yeah.
And so what were some of the challenges and or, things that surprised you about publishing, the publishing world?
So I pretty much decided from, the first point that I was going to self-publish them and make my own publishing company.
Yeah.
So that's what Behavior Books is.
That's amazing.
I do marketing and public relations and social media from what, Mary taught me. And I didn't really want to spend the time shopping to publishers, and there's so many, just like in the music industry, there's so many ways that you can do it yourself now.
Yeah.
And that's what I decided to do, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. And I really wanted creative control, and I wanted to own the rights to my book. You only make a few dollars off of each book, and when
is it something that you would are you happy that you went that route now that you're kind of on the other side about to start pushing them out? Are you happy that you made that decision? I mean, I think that's a brilliant decision, and I went self-published route for mine as well. But you just started your own company too, which I think is brilliant. So is it now, are you thinking, why'd I do that? Or are you just really happy with that decision?
You might want to ask, interview me again in 6 months. But
okay, Bianca, write that down. We'll have her back in 6 months to tell us.
Right now, I'm very happy with the decision, and it feels right. I feel like I didn't do this in a vacuum. I hired a diversity and inclusion specialist. I had a lot of editors. I had people look at it for many different aspects of the book. And I'm so grateful to all those people who helped me. But I also really, at the end of the day, wanted to have my say at the end of it, of what I wanted and what was important to me.
People can follow you, Annie, on, well, your website, childrensbehaviorbooks.com, and then your Instagram handle is what again?
So the website's childrensbehaviorbooks.com, and my Instagram is just Behavior Books.
Behavior Books. Okay. So yeah, you've got a lot of tips, and I wish you the best of luck, Annie. I hope you'll come back and talk about how it is 6 months after.
Thank you.
Everyone at home, keep watching. We've got lots more America Trends where this came from. Stick around for more.